Faruq here, guys.
This should be. Is this a Ciao time? No, is this a?
Not even a Ciao time.
Let's make it a Hijinks lah. Because there's nothing else. It's a shindig or anything.
Correct.
Alright, so welcome to this episode of our Hijinks, and it's not gonna be much of stuff, but it's just gonna be some shout outs and Hari Raya wishes. Okay, so it's Dane here once again.
Yo.
Faruq here, guys. Okay, it's a 3 AM show. Alright, so in a few days time it's going to be Hari Raya Idul Fitri for all Muslims all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we actually proceed from the 3 AM show, we would like to wish everyone who's celebrating Selamat Hari Raya Idul Fitri.
Maaf zahir dan batin.
Minal aidin wal faizin, kullu am wa antum bi khair. Okay, so to everyone, thank you so much. Hope you have a nice time. For those of you not celebrating in Singapore, it's actually going to be a long weekend, so enjoy the long weekend, even though we can't go anywhere lah.
Correct.
Okay, so Faruq, how is Raya going to be different for you this year?
First things first, I know no one's gonna visit my place because usually for I don't know 3-4 years going on because it's common to get how to say your relatives coming over to your place because my grandma is the oldest sibling as of now, so she's the oldest one, so everyone would come to visit, even my uncles and aunts from like a distant relative, they will just come, but I know it's gonna be quiet lah. That's all I can say, because I don't really go and visit that much also because my grandma is not feeling that well, so yeah. Okay. How about you, Din?
Okay, it's gonna be different because for a change, because of circumstances, we can't actually balik kampung, like legit literally balik kampung, because
you balik?
Yes, every year without fail since I was young, unless I can avoid it, like back when I was serving in national service or working on first day of Hari Raya, then we won't be back. But usually, as much as possible, myself, my siblings and my parents will actually drive up to Malaysia to actually visit my paternal grandmother, the only one left, because she's the only grandparent I have left. Everyone has really passed on. So this is my dad's mom.
Paternal.
Yeah, paternal. So it's in Malacca. So it's always fun because I would say like in Singapore, pretty mellow. We are not the very, even though we come from a very big family, but we are not the first day must go and visit everybody's house. No, we're not. We're the very low key, relaxed, chill. You come lah.
I mean, to a certain extent, I would love to be in those type of families. I mean,
I actually, to be very honest, I love that because you don't have to be fake.
Correct.
Like there's always this charades and parade of I would say fake niceties that every time you go through during celebration time. Like even during Chinese New Year, it's the same thing. So when you meet your cousins or your aunts and uncles during festive occasions, that is where people tend to exaggerate the niceness they have.
Correct. True.
Because you don't see every day each day, so it's fine. But for us, like for me,
but then right, that's where all the comparisons will come in. Later, our parents be like,
correct.
Our parents be like, hey, you know your cousin actually did well.
Which is why I love the fact that the Singapore side, my mom's side, the Singapore side is pretty mellow, low key. Because if you wanna compare my dad and my mom, actually my mom's family is bigger because she has 13 siblings.
Ooh.
Like the back then, like the typical Chinese family, very big. So like I have total of 13 aunts and uncles. So it's really very big. So I'm thankful that we are very low key. So that usually the one aunt or the one uncle will just we gather at our place. Or at their place, we will just probably just show up, like makan and then ciao lah. Like there isn't we don't really do the house to house visiting, which is something that I am thankful for. Like I know some people cannot live without. I know for a majority of Singaporean Malays or Singaporean Muslims find that it's a must to go. I mean so I mean if you do that, I'm not hating on
this is where also it comes to another talking point whereby I mean you can visit, but to a certain extent, right? I've heard stories before that they go visiting, right? And I mean if they are visiting a relative, and doing this, I'm fine, but sometimes it's actually not. It's not even a relative. Maybe a family friend kind of thing.
Basically visiting.
But then right, they stay till like almost wee hour in the morning kind of thing.
No, but sometimes I think I would say family side, maybe we tend to perpetuate the concern greater, because family, like sometimes we don't find it comfortable being ridiculously close to our families, extended family members. Like on the flip side, if let's say you have to have a jalan raya, like visiting with your friends, then there is never enough time.
Correct.
Like I've done it like in poly days. It started from a group of us like wanting to visit each other, so we had like a convoy of like 7 cars. Then after that, the next year the juniors came in, so the family kind of grew. So from 7 cars it became 9 cars and a few bikes. Then by the 3rd year it was like 11 cars, a few bikes, and a 45-seater bus. So yeah, so it's crazy, like the number of houses.
battalion really,
bro. It was a full-on military operation, because like usually the fire starter is me lah, this kind of thing. So usually I plan this kind of things. So it is a military operation because there is a convoy involved. So all the drivers will be like hooked up with walkie-talkies and stuff. So like we will legitimately have a proper convoy. Then we will plan out like the route, which houses first, who, like even
the timetable really must.
Yeah, timetable and the quantity or the pack size is also important, because some of the houses, let's face it, it's not that big.
Correct.
We want is in the whole spirit of visiting and celebration of Idul Fitri itself. We do have, so like for us, like the seniors, we will like plan the rotation. Okay, first wave, 30 people, okay, go. So they will then the rest will be like waiting at the void deck lah, the lift landing, and then okay, next wave, switch, then switch and go. So yeah, so some houses were like very overwhelmed, but they love the fact that it just goes to show that their child has that many friends who love them and want to visit them, which is awesome. Then that is where usually, like if we do it with family, usually you will get to see parents comparing. But when you do it with friends, it's where you get to see a little bit more about your friends. Like you don't know that your friend is actually a baller. Like we used to have some a poly friend. The father was in politics, so like the house ridiculously big.
Yes.
Like 3-story bungalow kind. Inside the house got personal lift, that kind. Yeah. Then the following year they shifted to another bungalow within the area, because the previous house beside the house got one longkang. Then the mother don't like got longkang, so change house. Wow. So baller. But yeah, it was interesting, because all these people, like they're so humble that you don't expect anything. Yes. But then when you see this, you just get to know these very people you spend your time with, and then even get to know their parents. So some of my closest friends, like I know their parents, like it's like become like to the level that they're our family, that kind. Yeah, so that was an interesting part lah. But like I say, the biggest change I would say right now, because at this point in time, as this video was recorded, the lockdown in Malaysia, between Malaysia and Singapore, is still in progress. So the I would say the hardest thing for me and family this year is definitely my family and I is the lockdown because we don't get to drive up. So probably we will settle for just like Zoom or something with my family members. Right. So it's very difficult to explain to people when I say every year people will ask me on first, or usually by the eve of Hari Raya, people start the influx of WhatsApp messages will happen. All the wishes
the
and
typical
everything.
wishes and everything.
Yeah,
and
so
begging for forgiveness.
Yeah, so for me, usually it will come up right up to the latest will be like the eve of Hari Raya itself, the night before. So that is where I will send out all my mass texts, because usually it'll be a long drive up to Malaysia, and then depending on the network there, so sometimes I only get network like half day later or the end of the first day. But it's always a pleasure because you get to feel the whole kampung feel there, like the night before where the whole kitchen is bustling with all the ladies of the house, the girls. My grandma will be the head chef in the kitchen, so she will be like cooking the rendang lah,
executive chef really, bro, like that.
No, not executive chef, because she will be cooking also. So, yeah. So although she will order my cousins around, yeah, then for the men, usually for myself and my dad, my brother, all my male cousins and uncles, it's divided into a few things like maybe cook the lemang, which is the glutinous rice in bamboo, cooked in bamboo. That one has to be tended like overnight fire, the kind, so you cannot like leave it.
You do dodol?
Dodol we used to cook, but
because it's very tedious, right?
Yeah, very tedious, because it's basically this very thick sugary molasses that you cook in a very big wok, and it has to be stirred and stirred and stirred so that it doesn't burn and stick to the wok itself. So that is also another overnight process. My dad used to cook it like every Hari Raya because people of the house want, and then he's very quick on his feet and very very handy around house. So he'll be doing that. Then it's either that or back then when my grandfather was still around, he was a caretaker of one of the surau nearby, so we would like go there, then do the takbir with him, and then that would be the night before. But for me and my cousins, once all that is done, once the announcement that Shawwal is there and the next day is Hari Raya, that is where we will start our
shenanigans.
Yeah, which is the yearly
firework
show and firecracker battle. Yeah, so usually when the moment the TV or the radio announce, okay, so first Shawwal will be tomorrow, Selamat Hari Raya, then me and my cousins will like be at the garage where we park all the cars facing all the other villagers, and you will start one person will throw the first fireball or firecracker, boom, and then that side will respond. Then we also, if we actually make it back to Malacca earlier, then actually we'll have some time. Then I will drag my brother and my cousins, we go and hunt for bamboo poles or bamboo shoots, like legit big ones to make our cannon, and then meriam, we call it meriam bulu. So yeah,
the olden way of
the original meriam bulu.
Yes.
So like we will have like gunpowder and stuff, and we will play and we will like launch, boom, and then that side will respond, boom, and then you know it's Hari Raya . So that was a niceties of it all, because you can't do that in Singapore. So sometimes,
I mean, I personally don't have any kampung to
Yeah,
go to,
so
so I don't.
that
I don't
feeling,
get. I don't get to feel any of the
because
things that.
and for me, because we are the only my dad is the only sibling that is in Singapore. Back then my grandma and grandpa used to stay in Singapore actually.
Oh.
And some of my aunts and uncles were actually born in Singapore, but then they moved back. My dad was the only one
that
stayed, because when my grandparents decided to move back, he was serving his national service here. So he was born here, he was serving his national service here. So from there, then they decided, okay, you know, why not you take care of the house that is here. Back then we were staying in Queensway area. So he took over the flat, and then basically he started his family there, and that was where I was born lah. That was the joy, because in Malaysia, in the whole kampung feel, if for those of you who do not have kampung, I try to go and link up with your friends who do, and if you have the opportunity, go and celebrate Raya in kampung, because the feeling is different. Like that feeling of sitting in the kampung house in the living room, and then you hear a car drive into the driveway, you'll be thinking, okay, this uncle is back, who's back? And then like you see the lights just pass the window, and then like you see, oh, is this cousin? Okay, oh, okay. Then sometimes you wonder like how can that one kampung house hold like 6 families and like grown families. Like it's always amazing, because technically in my whole 6 families in the my Malaysia side, my paternal side, we are in fact the smallest family, like 3 kids. Like some of them minimum is like 6 kids, 7 kids. I have one that is 11 kids.
Oh, yeah.
So
What soccer team?
Soccer team, bro. Yeah, so the feeling of, you know, having all your cousins is there. Then first day, I don't know how that was just Eve. That was just Eve of Hari Raya. That is not that the first day yet. How is your first day? Like, what's a typical?
Okay, so my typical first day, back then when my great grandma was still around, alright, we will go to my grand aunt's place. Alright, so which is my maternal side. Okay, so my grandma and me, we will go to Ang Mo Kio first. Okay, and prepare stuff first. Okay, so help my grand aunt to prepare stuff. Alright, usually it's prepared already. It's just that we just help out a little wee bit more lah. Sibuk lah. Usually the sibuk is only my grandma lah. Okay. I go to the living room, take control of the remote control already.
That's a the old people thing, the old gen thing.
Yeah.
You wanna always help. You don't wanna just be sit and be the guest.
Correct.
Malay got that saying lah, tak tahu nak tolong kat dapur. Like you don't know how to help out in the kitchen. Even if you don't want to do or you don't know what to do, it's polite to offer your help.
Correct.
If they don't need, then they will just say they don't need lah.
Correct.
Just at least you say before people say because old people, their words are a bit sharp. Straight.
Sharp, spicy,
pedas.
Ouch.
Kau tu.
So our my job usually is to do QC.
Okay, same.
So I will do QC check, alright, and taste my grand aunt's food first. Then my grand aunt will be like, okay tak? Kena tak? Cukup tak?
So you basically the guinea pig
Yes, the guinea pig. Then because my grand aunt, it just so happens she's the only one that cooks at home at her house, and I'm still amazed till this day, right, that she can actually whip up a whole lot of shit or a whole lot of food. Sorry.
Okay.
Alamak, our lampu raya finish. Lampu raya.
No, talk. Check the lampu.
No. Okay, can. So
what's the lagu stop?
Oh, the lagu finish. Okay. So my grand aunt would, I mean, she can bake bread, you know.
Oi.
bread, bro. So she will actually bake apa tu? Roti Perancis.
Oh, baguette.
No, not baguette.
French loaf.
French loaf. Yes, roti Perancis. The roti john bread, that one.
The kari kambing one. The sup kambing.
Sup kambing one. So she, I don't know how and why. So like she does that, right? Then like good mood she do tulang so.
Oh lama.
She do tulang so good mood Then with that bread the tulang, alamak. Then
this one first day.
First day, bro. First day, all of my puasa diet gone, bro, down the drain. So with the QC check, my grandma will be busy trying to help her prepare and stuff. Then that's where all my relatives come in. So according to ranking, right, I'm at the bottom.
Bottom what? Age wise?
No, I may be older than some of my.
I see. But family tree ranking.
Family tree ranking.
Okay. Understood.
So, bro, I'm 27 and my uncle is like 19.
Yeah, some Malay problem. Malay actually Chinese problem.
Chinese problem also have. I think no. I
second
think
uncle, third cousin lah. Cousin confused
So if you
confirm you will have that one auntie or one uncle. Every year the line never change.
Apa?
The line never change. The first one, the thing that come out where everybody congratulates.
I think I know what you are thinking, but to be really honest, I never get that.
Okay. No, confirm no. Maybe not at you, but confirm got that one uncle or auntie who will use this line. The line is, ni anak siapa?
Oh!
Whose child child is this? Because you
No,
only
okay.
eat.
The thing is, if it was my maternal side, right, all my grand aunts and grand uncles, right, actually we are a relatively small family. So it is still easy to know who's who and stuff like that.
Usually that line is grandparent level and above lah. Because
Correct,
memory wise a bit.
No, memory wise is one, but the thing is, maybe the last time they see the kid, it was 5 years old. He or she was 5 years old.
Yeah, maybe.
Then now it's already 20.
Or maybe also because your younger cousins have like settled down lah. Like that one is usually my problem. People come up to me and shake my hand. Then I'm just like, okay, I don't know this kid. I don't know this kid.
Correct.
I'm like, okay, last year I saw you. You had 1 child. This year you had 3. How did you do that? Like. But yeah, but my first day was I think there's a reason why I
Oh
grew
wait,
up.
I haven't got to this topic, this part. Then going back to the so-called younger uncles and aunts, right? Then I'm being the older one that's a full-time job.
Okay. So
I'm giving my uncle and aunt Hari Raya, bro.
Normal.
Not cool, bro.
I accept that fate long time ago.
And then the thing is right, guys. I know most of my Chinese friends, or let's say almost all of my Chinese friends, assume that we are also. I mean, our style is like similar to you guys, but no. The thing is, for us Muslims or Malays or the ones that are celebrating Hari Raya,
is not as stringent like you guys are. You guys actually
not married can still get.
Okay, for Chinese, the requirement for the Chinese culture usually is unmarried you will receive
Correct.
red packet.
Correct.
But for Muslim is you're working right, you must give already because you got income already.
Correct. So
that's why for Malays the as opposed to Chinese is like, oh, I haven't married get. For Malay the question is always,
masih sekolah ke tak?
dah kerja ke belum? Are you working or are you
schooling?
And the best defense is always still studying. Then you will get the snide looks like so old, still studying. But you will get your green packet.
Correct. So yeah, I mean rabak saya still give my uncle
Welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the adult club. This is adulting 101. Yeah, this was the package they never tell you about when they say you're gonna be an adult. But yeah, this was supposed to be in the ORD package, but they never.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Yeah.
After my ORD already, I got scared. No, like it's Hari Raya. I need to give. Apa already? Sialah. My hand shaking, bro. Like sama Raya. Okay, bye. Sialah.
That's interesting because like it's a Singaporean context. Like for Malaysia wise, I love the fact like because it's very festive. So like every morning on the first day of Eid itself or first day of Shawwal, the whole family, everyone including young ones, except I think for some of the ladies who will stay home, but the rest of us we will walk to the village mosque and then you will hear the sermon, do the Friday prayers, the Eid prayers. Then we will, as we walk back, then there are a few mandatory houses that we need to stop by before we reach our own family home, because there are some grand aunts here, grand uncle, second cousin, third cousin. So we just, by the time you reach your house, you will somewhat be already halfway full, but you will still be able to thank, because the feast at home that is waiting is just crazy. Because one thing about kampung life, I'm not saying that Malaysians don't do it, but for kampung wise, the pride of having freshly made food is very, very important.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean modern Malaysians, urban Malaysians, cosmopolitan Malaysians, I mean convenience city life. So yeah, processed food is okay, the way to go. But for Malaysia, no. So even downright to our bergedil is freshly made. Our serunding is freshly made. Mi soto, laksa is made from scratch. Lontong, lemang, as I've mentioned before.
Ketupat, of course.
Everything made from scratch. So there are certain things that are also quite unique because of that lah. Then back then when I was still schooling, younger days, that is where we as in we who have kampung people, we experience what is the original way of Jalan Raya. Like, you cannot do it in Singapore because it's just not Singaporean. But in Malaysia, what we do is we will actually visit neighbor to neighbor to neighbor to neighbor. Literally Jalan Raya. Every single house in the village. Sometimes we can go as far as 8 kilometers away from our house, and that was on foot, and just going from house to house. Literally, what we did was the opening line always the same. Assalamualaikum, or peace be upon you. Kami datang nak raya. We are here to celebrate your house. And then the aunts or the uncle or the house owner will just, oh okay, come in. Then we just sit, makan the kuih a bit. So it will get to the point where the time spent in the house will get shorter and shorter and shorter, and the things we eat will get little and little and little and little. Yes. So some of our cousins, the younger ones, who don't understand that it's not nice to just come and ask for
money,
red packet or green packet lah. So usually we just eat to the point where we're really bloated, like, oh, you need to go and then go out. Then I decide, and for me and my brother and my younger sister, it was always nice because we get treated slightly different because you're from Singapore. So usually they'll be like, oh, this one is that kid, is this, that guy's children, oh, so from Singapore, yes, from Singapore, oh, okay, good, so how's schooling all okay? Yeah, so we get to get treated a little different, and we get to play the favoritism game among our aunts and uncles, so it was a little bit fun because although we don't ask for it, although we don't want to be treated that way, but we get treated that way, so it's always fun lah. Like, you get to feel a little bit special because of the fact that we stay the furthest from grandma.
Overseas,
yeah, literally overseas, because it's not that near.
Correct.
It's a drive away, so it's always fun. So that was the best thing lah. Like, I mean, even like Ramadan is slightly different, like for us back then, because you have a lot of time at home, and like in Singapore, like what do? You go about your normal thing lah, just fast and go about your normal thing. But for Malaysia, things get different. Like when I was younger, when I was still schooling, even up till I think lower secondary, the standard protocol for my parents were June and December holidays. The moment the start of holidays, we are dumped at Malaysia. Like for 1 month, we will stay with our grandparents, and my parents will just drive back to Singapore, and then we'll just be there. So the typical.
Why don't your parents like?
No, because you need to work, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean we were kids back then, so usually that's where I'll follow my dad. I'll bring my brother along to go and work in his garden, his field. So like plant stuff, and it was fun because we didn't know it was child labor, but it was fun. It was fun, like because you don't do that in Singapore. You don't get to work with a shovel, with a hoe, and then
correct.
Yeah, like tending to the fish farm and stuff. So it was nice. And then like they were usually early morning part of the day. Then after that, later part of the day, we'll be exploring the village and stuff. Like, you know, the typical do fishing, go to the river. That's where I learned how to ride a motorcycle at the age of like 10. I couldn't even touch the ground, but I could ride a bike. So that was fun because my grandpa was like, okay, so this is how you start, then you go. Like the moment I got that down, I figured out how to do that. That thing I rode everywhere. I even rode to the village, not knowing that I wasn't supposed to do that. No helmet, singlet, shorts. Can't even stop properly because I cannot touch the ground. So yeah, it was fun lah. So
doing a stoppie.
Not even stoppie. It was like a dancing. It was a dancing bicycle thingy. So like, yeah. But yeah, that was growing up. Like that's just why I say, like sometimes, like for those people who know me personally, like you have no idea what I went through to be where I am right now. Like, I may seem like I get or I have a lot, but actually I don't. But it's because I appreciate the little things in life. I was raised to actually appreciate the little things in life, which is why I want to do so much, and I want to do so much more for people around me. So because I'm fortunate enough, like it may not be something extravagant. It's just a kampung, but I have that experience. Like I can literally count with my fingers how many people in my entire social circle has ever had that experience. Like this is very simple. Faruq himself don't have a kampung. To me, it was a basic thing, but to many Singaporeans don't.
And technically, I do have, but then we've lost contact.
Yeah.
And because I mean, and my kampung isn't in Malaysia. My kampung is Barat in Indonesia.
Yeah,
so it's further out,
we
don't really
yeah.
keep in touch and such. So
yeah. So that was just basically what we usually go through. So I'm actually quite interested to see how this year will be different with the whole situation right now in Singapore and like lockdown being done.
I think people are really going to do it via video calls.
Yeah, probably technology is coming to the aid of everybody. Like it will be something that you rely on. So I hope people don't get a bit too frustrated lah, because they don't get to do the things. I mean, we got over it. Like there's no bazaar this year, although we are aching. Like it's the first time in.
A wee bit. I would say a wee bit. It's very weird, bro. I mean, like
no, bro. You should have seen what I saw. Like it was weird. Like me being on the road, like driving, and then I was just curious. I drove past Geylang, like ghost town, places where it was usually bustling with stalls and people and just window shoppers and just bazaar goers.
I dare say that this is the first year that I never been to.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, like the thing is,
it's the first time in my entire life, like from old Geylang to new Geylang.
Correct.
This is the first bazaarless raya. Like that actually, to be very honest, that is the tip of the iceberg lah. But for me, it's just the whole difference in how this COVID situation has brought upon a lot of changes in Singapore. Like just as simple as you can't even go to the mosque and stuff. So that is a big ball, a huge game changer.
Yeah,
so yeah, but hopefully this year Raya will not be too bad. Probably it's a different change, but change is needed. Change is essential. Probably we will grow from it to be like in future years. Like not saying that we should accept that this is the reality, but in future years, if something were to happen over the Raya thing, you know that okay, you actually can do it via technology.
Correct.
So you don't really have to. I mean,
it also teaches us to really appreciate.
Of course.
The things that we actually have.
Exactly. So it's appreciate the little things that you have, so that when you don't have it or it's gone, you don't miss it as much. Yeah. So hopefully this year Raya has been is going to be, or this Ramadan has been a great one for everyone, and hopefully this Aidilfitri is actually a good one. A different one, but definitely hopefully it becomes a good one for us. So before we actually end this Hari Raya shout out and vlog from us, Faruq, do you have anything to say?
I hope that you guys will enjoy it as much as possible. Even, I mean, no matter whatever that is happening, right? Raya is still Raya. So try not to like, this year is gonna be different and don't need to cook lah. No. I mean, you can still enjoy with your own family members. So don't just let it die off just because that I cannot celebrate. And there are also some people that are a wee bit too dramatic. No Raya! Shut up lah, relax lah. I know you guys love Raya.
No Raya will die, man.
You guys also go your cousin place play handphone.
Yeah.
Before you guys do, I already do.
Guilty
So I mean the thing is
Mana say yang macam ya.
That's why. Don't like real only. Chill, relax. Alright. So just still celebrate and enjoy with your family members. I mean like if your mom says that I think at the very least even though I'm not gonna make the ketupat, I will still buy some instant ones and actually we're also coming to the end of it. So and maybe cook like lodi, like ayam merah or rendang, sambal goreng. Just let her cook. Maybe you can actually help and stuff like that. I mean, just support. It's the beauty of it. Like the Malam Raya, whereby you actually really clean your house and prepare for the next day and such. So it's time for us to rejoice actually after a long 1 month of doing or your fast in Ramadan. So it's actually a day to rejoice and to celebrate. So yeah, it's just don't kill the vibe lah. Okay, just don't kill the vibe, just enjoy. Alright, enjoy the little things. So I'm done. Dave?
Okay, so I think for me, Faruq has said pretty much everything that I wanted to say, but just think about it this way: the party or the celebration is wherever you are with your close ones. So
correct,
make the best of the situation. What good? Yeah, I always believe in this. If you can be happy or be angry at the situation, what good does it do if you are angry at it? If you're gonna be all resentful and all bitter about not being able to go out and celebrate Eid or Aidilfitri itself, then does it gain you anything? If it doesn't, then be happy about it. Like, you still have your family.
Correct.
I mean, there are people who are less fortunate than us who don't even get to celebrate.
Correct.
So just be thankful and grateful for whoever you have around you. Yeah. So stop being a whiny
dick. Sorry.
Stop being a whiny, complaining, ungrateful cookie mak kau. Okay, I said it, cookie mak kau. Okay.
Your mom's cookie.
Cookie mak kau. I'm gonna use this for a very long time. I don't know why. It just came to mind. But yeah, okay, so once again, this has been the 3 AM show. This is our Raya vlog from Dane here.
Ya, Faruq here, guys.
Okay, selamat Hari Raya Aidilfitri.
Maaf Zahid dan batin.
Minal aidin wal faizin. Thank you so much. And Faruq, as per normal,
it's a Aku fikir video pendek, panjang juga video ni.
Hi guys, thank you for watching our video. Okay, it's Dane here,
Faruq here, guys.
Okay, so if you like what you saw, subscribe to our channel to find out more. Okay, look through all our other videos. We have the
Hijinks.
Hijinks is where we do crazy stuff, where we try things.
We have blowout.
Blowout is all our event call-outs and all the shenanigans that we go out there and not in the studio.
And our favorite,
of course, is the Ciao time. Again, there will be our food vlogs and reviews. So if you like what you saw, once again, press the bell button to subscribe and get a notification every time we release a video. If not, that has been the 3 AM show.